What's up, YouTube? Kings in here with Bond and Boxing. But today we ain't talking boxing. We're going to talk some NFL today. The NFL draft, so to speak. Anybody that knows me, I've been a New York Giants fan for years. Most of my life, actually. So, the New York Giants held the overall third pick in the draft. So, with the date was, who were they going to pick? Were they going to pick Shedeur Sanders with the third pick, or were they going to pick Abdul Carter? Shedeur Sanders, if you don't know, is the starting quarterback for the Colorado Buffaloes, Deion Sanders' son. And Abdul Carter, he was a defensive end / linebacker from Penn State. Well, a good pick, actually, because I think Penn State linebacker / defensive end, Abdul Carter, was the overall better player. He got picked with the third pick. Now, the Giants later on traded back up in the draft to 25th pick. I'm like, oh man, they done figured out a way to get Shedeur and Abdul Carter. Not a big fan of Joe Schoen, the GM of the New York Giants. I'm like, I got to pat him on his back for this one. This boy done did some magic. But nope, they drafted Jackson Dart. Somebody who from the last 3 months ago wasn't even considered no more than a third round pick. Shedeur, on the other hand, was actually considered maybe even the #1 overall pick. Between him and Cam Ward. About 3 to 4 months ago. All that went downhill. It's been a campaign to kill Shedeur's name. Shedeur Sanders. Now look, you can say like race doesn't matter. You can do what you want, but everybody has something to say about this kid. Oh man, he has an attitude problem. Oh man, the kid's a punk. Oh man, that kid needs to be humbled. This right here, I feel like it's not only the fact that this is a black kid. I feel like every time you have someone that is African descent, mainly African American descent, who has this attitude that I'm the best, they immediately attack that man. Not only that, it seems to be a trend of these black American fathers who become successful and push their kids. Their kids are ripped apart. Let's take it back to boxing. Why is Devin Haney hated so much? He got cheated. They still rip him apart. That he's a punk. He should just took his L like a man. Even though the guy he fought, Ryan Garcia, tested positive. LeBron James, and they hate LeBron James. But look how Bronny's getting tore apart because his dad been there for him. Now, Deion Sanders, a successful coach, NFL Hall of Famer, one of the best players ever, one of the best athletes ever. Yes, he's brash, but he backs it up. Brought his son into the system. His son has never been in trouble. Never no off-the-field shenanigans. Yes, he speaks highly of himself. Talks about his knowledge of the game. Has all the confidence in the world. But it's called arrogance. Called a cancer in the locker room. I've never heard anyone ever speak of him in a bad manner that has played with that man. Anybody. But he is told that he's terrible. And he's in the second. He wasn't even drafted. Teams passed him by like he was nothing. And it's one thing, Cam Ward went with the first overall pick, but he wouldn't even pick Jackson Dart, a quarterback who's never played in a pro system, who needs to develop. It might one day be a good quarterback, but right now, if you plug him in there and plug in Shedeur Sanders is a pro quarterback right now. He couldn't find a team with teams needing quarterbacks. And the New York Giants had the nerve to actually trade up in the first round and give up future draft picks to pick Jackson Dart while Shedeur Sanders was there. And we had the overall 34th pick was in the second round that we could have used. It was other quarterbacks out there. But we traded up. It was like even just more disrespect. And it just needs to stop. And more awareness needs to be brought to that. I know a lot of people don't want it to be seen. You want to act like it doesn't matter. Oh, no, you're just using the race card or blah, blah, blah. Man, look, it is what it is. Look like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Y'all know it's some messed up things going behind the situation. That young man has never gotten any trouble. You never heard him hitting on women. You never heard of him just doing anything. But he just says, I'll make your franchise better. I am a boxing coach. You need confidence in anything you do. If it's sports, any sport that you're in, or anything you do, you need to have the confidence you're going to do it. That's what I want on my team. That's what I'm going to coach. That's what I teach. You need to be confident in yourself. I don't care how good you are. If you have no confidence, none of that's going to matter when you step in that field, in that box ring, on that court. Hell, if you do anything, if you go on a job interview, anything you do, you need to have confidence. And it's a disgrace that they're treating that young man like that because of his dad, and also it has something to do to cover his skin, if you like to admit it or not. They always talking about he needs to be humble. And I'm asking me, well, why does he need to be humble? Then somebody said, oh, because he's a punk. Well, why is he a punk? What did he do? And then when you talking about somebody need to be humble, I'm gonna go ahead and look at the dictionary of what it means to be humble. Having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's own importance. Why would I ever want to look at myself? Why did I teach my son that? See, we throw that word humble around a lot. Why would I look at myself with low importance? You're supposed to look at yourself as you matter. And with that, I'm out. You find anything different you want to say about it, leave in the comments. This is Bonnet Boxing. I had to speak on this. Peace.